And good morning. Welcome to Community Voice. Today is Friday, March 1st, and I am your host, Josh Engel. We are live streaming this morning's program on our WLBB Facebook page. So if you have any questions or comments for our guest, feel free to hop those in. We'd be happy to read those out to her. Our guest this morning is Project Gift Coordinator Stefanie Anderson. Today, we're going to be talking about the Walk for Water event that is coming up on April 6th. It's going to be kicking off at 10 a.m., and it's going to be down at Southwire headquarters. This has been a multi-year partnership between Water Mission and Southwire. So I'm excited to get to sit down with Stefanie and talk about what folks can look forward to this year. Good morning, Stefanie.
Good morning.
So you're the Project Gift Coordinator.
Correct.
Tell us a bit about you in general and a bit about your position with Southwire.
Okay. So in general, I'm originally from Eufaula, Alabama. I don't know if anyone knows where that is, but my claim to fame for that town is the movie Sweet Home Alabama, when she's going home and rolling through in her convertible. That stretch of homes, that's Eufaula. So I've been in Carrollton for about 8 years. I've got 3 beautiful boys, and my husband and I also were at Southwire together. I've been with Southwire for 2 years, started on the internal side of our nonprofit, and now I get the opportunity to coordinate all the volunteers and get everyone active in our communities, and I love what I do.
You have the energy for it. You got the personality. I mean, is this something that when you first joined the Southwire family, is this something that you would kind of hope to eventually do, maybe, or be involved with?
So I've always, volunteered or, served personally, but it's actually kind of strange. When I moved to Carrollton 8 years ago, I remember being at Walmart and walking out and seeing the Project Gift truck in the parking lot, and I just immediately felt connected. I was like, that is what I want to do, and affirmations, they come to fruition. So
you feel that resonance in your chest. You're like,
I just immediately was like, that's it. And that's what I'm going to do.
Here you are now.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a bit more about now that you've been working with Project Gift for some time now. You're running the show. Let's talk a bit about Project Gift's mission.
All right. So Project Gift's mission, we strive to get our team members at Southwire active in our communities. We're only as strong as the communities that we support, not only here in West Georgia, but all across the Southwire footprint. And so we have signature events throughout the year. Back to school and Toys for Tots are really big here in West Georgia, where we're supporting our local communities. But Water Mission is really our first international cause that's not purely focused on West Georgia. And so our new signature event, this will be our 3rd year doing it. We're partnered with Water Mission, and our event is called Walk for Water. And Water Mission, and what the purpose of the walk is that there is a global water crisis, not only in developing countries, but also any countries or areas that are impacted by natural disaster. Safe water is a basic human necessity. And so the walk is just to raise awareness for the fact that this exists, and this is things that people struggle with. So.
Well, I mean, and you mentioned, after disasters like water issues to having access to clean water, Southwire's Project Gift, I think that these aren't, regularly scheduled events, but when there is a disaster, when there's a hurricane, anything that happens, tornadoes tearing up a town or an area, I mean, it seems that if it's near or in the state of a Southwire campus, Southwire jumps into action and starts collecting. And water is a pivotal part of those collections, it seems.
Absolutely. So, the tie of disasters and critical needs, that was just definitely something that struck the heartstrings of Project Gift. And we were like, hey, this is something that we can get involved in. But yes, with natural disasters, whenever those come across, in those, terrible moments, we jump in, we do collection drives for all of the items that people will need when they're working through those situations. And then we deliver them to those hardest hit areas to get people what they need.
We have our first comments that came through on the WLBB live stream on our Facebook page. So remember, if you have any questions or comments to Stefanie, Project Gift Coordinator with Southwire's Project Gift, feel free to jump in and throw those in. Looks like there's a feud going down in the comments already. I mean, clearly it's a controversial show. First comment from Kiss 102.7. Hi, Stefanie, with a heart. And then there is a follow-up, a question from our award-winning news team, the News Talk 1330 Facebook. They say, Kiss 102.7, what, is Josh chopped liver? So it's happening in the comments. So let's speak a bit. This is the third annual Walk for Water. Can we talk a bit more about water mission? So, I mean, you kind of drew attention to the issues that's facing the world in terms of having access to clean water. Can you talk a bit more about the organization, Water Mission, and a bit how that relationship happened?
So what Water Mission does, like I said, they're focused on clean water, but they also provide sanitation resources for people, like I said, disaster-struck areas or the developing world. So 2 billion people lack access to safe drinking water, and then that bleeds over into, yes, you have that fact, but then there's illness and fatalities. It impacts people's education and their opportunity to better their lives and kind of break out of that mold. And Water Mission has been around. They've helped 2,800 people get access to sanitation. And they have 500 projects that are active at the moment. And they've helped 8 million people get access to water. So we're just, a drop in the bucket of what they're actually doing, but every little bit helps. So.
Drop in the bucket. I see what you did there.
Aha.
So 8 million people, that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
But if that's just a fraction of those in need, how many million? There's a lot of people out there.
Yeah, 2 billion.
And I think that folks, when they see advertisements for this event or they see social media posts about Walk for Water, my mind, would go to, oh yeah, we're 80% water. You got to have clean water to drink. Mm-hmm. And you bring up a great point, being able to take a bath, just in terms of immune systems and health, not having that clean water to be able to bathe in. I know that has to be just terrible, and for children and for families in these developing countries, and the sickness that spreads. Mm-hmm. So how has Southwire, Southwire selected this partnership? Once they saw this need, they decided to partner with Water Mission. What have the years leading up to this look like?
So we started 2 years ago. What was that? 2021? 2022?
It's all a blur.
It's all a blur. Yeah, after COVID, everything just kind of blurs together. So we identified this partnership just, again, based on the impact that they're having, the fact that they do help with disaster-struck areas. Our goal this year is $30,000 just from this walk alone, but that goal will help 600 individuals gain access to the clean water and the sanitation that they need.
Wow. It's a great cause. Again, this is the third annual Walk for Water. It's going to be going down April 6th at Southwire headquarters. There is a early bird registration. So before we go to our first break, Stephanie, could you talk a bit about that, just so folks know?
Yeah, absolutely. So the registration fee, and again, all registration fees are actually donated to Water Mission's cause. The registration fee is $25, but until March 15th, we do have a code that can be used that will take about $5 off of your registration fee. And that code is Early Bird. I'm going to say it again. Early Bird, one word. Didn't mean to run there. It is Dr. Seuss week next week, but
I have a feeling that there's some subconscious.
Probably.
You're being led in that direction.
But yeah, so March 15th, before March 15th, you can use that code to just get a little bit of money off and then get registered to come walk with us. And
I believe after the program, we'll share a link.
Correct.
Where folks can go ahead and register, use that early bird promo code, as they say on podcasts, and then you can get $5 off your registration. All right, time is 8:39. We're going to take our first commercial break, but when we come back, we'll continue our conversation with Project Gift Coordinator with Southwire's Project Gift, Stefanie Anderson, as we talk more about the upcoming third annual Walk for Water event coming up on April 6th at Southwire headquarters. Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health System and Oak Mountain Academy.
Health is a journey. It's making better choices, even when it's not easy. It's taking care of yourself and the people you love. At Tanner Health System, we're there for you with every step, with primary care, heart care, cancer care, women's care, orthopedics, surgical services, and so much more. We're dedicated to helping you live and feel your best. So let's get on that journey to health. You've got places to be for many years to come. Find us at tanner.org.
The Entrepreneur Scholar Journey at Oak Mountain Academy is designed to provide students with a clearly defined curriculum-based track to acquire essential knowledge and skills for success in business and leadership. Critical areas include identifying entrepreneurial characteristics, selecting a value position, and business model development. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school, inviting you to journey with us on the mountain. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us. Discover your journey at OMA. Prepare, explore, and achieve.
And we're back to Community Voice. Time is 8:41. Today is Friday, March 1st, and I am your host, Josh Engel. We are live streaming this morning's program, our interview with Project Gift Coordinator for Southwire's Project Gift, Stefanie Anderson, as we talk about their third annual Walk for Water event. So we're be sure to tune on to that live stream on our WLBB Facebook page. So if you have any questions or comments, or if you want to contribute to the argument between who's cooler, Josh or Stefanie, feel free to hop in there. I mean, I would encourage that. Please feel free. But after you register for the Walk for Water event. So we just had a chance to speak a bit about you, a bit about this relationship, how it came together, previous events. Let's talk about now. Let's talk about the now. What can folks take us through? I know that these things are always subject to change. I can't talk. And by that, I mean sometimes they'll get bigger. We'll add more fun stuff. But could you kind of give folks the general idea of what they can expect at this year's Walk for Water that's happening on April 6th?
So hopefully we have wonderful weather and we don't have to change the date because of rain. Beautiful weather to walk in and enjoy being outside definitely helps. But registration starts at 8:30. If you can get there at 8:30, you can roll in at 9. It's whatever works for you. But the walk does start at 10. Before the walk, we're going to have, just some activities. We encourage everybody to bring their families. Me personally, I love to include my kids in all of these events because I think it's important to give them perspective of we have our lives, but during this walk, they're going to get an idea of what we're doing and why are we walking with empty buckets and carrying this back? This is terrible. My hands hurt. That's what people have to deal with.
To expand that aperture of our next generation. I mean, it takes stuff like this to really kind of show them and teach them about the way the rest of the world is.
Sometimes. Yeah, correct. But so before I get into what the walk feels like, to keep kids entertained before the walk, we're going to have lots of stuff for them to do. I'm going to have giant bubble stations and we'll have chalk and I want to do bucket decorating and we'll just have a lot to kind of fill that time before the walk begins. But the walk itself, the average distance that people have to walk to get clean water is 3 miles. So that is the length of our route. So we will start with giving everybody their empty buckets, and then we will walk 1.5 miles to a water source, fill up our buckets, turn around, and go right back the way you came. On the way there to fill up your bucket, you're like, oh, it's beautiful. Birds are chirping. My bucket is empty.
What a day for a daydream. Carrying an empty bucket, just swinging it like a pail.
Yeah. And then on the way back, your thought process changes. You're like, man, my arms hurt, my shoulders hurt, my fingers are kind of going numb from having to carry these full buckets. And you got to think that's just an average is 3 miles. Some people have to walk, further. And then also we're a smaller version of this. We only have little 2-gallon buckets. Some people have, something bigger because they're walking to this water source. They can't do that multiple times per day. So they're trying to make it count whenever they get that water. And so who knows, the receptacles that they're carrying to get all this. It's hard work is what I'm saying.
Just this week, in South America, I saw this. Maybe, you're affecting my algorithms, but I started having videos coming up of people bringing water back home, and they were using zip lines. They had to. It's not that they wanted to.
Yeah.
It's that they're having to lug this giant, essentially an animal skin sack of water. They had to go all the way to find some clean water, and then they filled it up, and they're just lugging it on their back like Santa Claus, and they got to ride a zip line way down this mountain to bring it to their family. So, that's nuts. Like that's crazy that folks are in that situation. But this seems like sort of a great catalyst of thought, kind of
It's
puts you in a
exactly it.
perspective to
It's
really
exactly
start
it.
thinking about it.
And then even beyond that, so during the walk, we have fact signs every step of the way. So you're walking and you might be physically thinking something of like, oh, my shoulders hurt. But then you'll see a fact that, 50% of the developing world is in a hospital bed because of a water-related illness. Like, they have to do this. So all of these facts just kind of strengthen why we're doing what we're doing. We're walking a mile and a half both ways in their shoes, literally, of just what they have to do, why they have to do it, and then all of these facts are just going to be pushed into everybody's subconscious so that they can continue to raise awareness and support, the cause of what Water Mission does.
And maybe it'll remind them, next time they pick up their Yeti or their Stanley Cup or
Yeah.
whatever, and they take a sip of water they got out of the fridge 12 feet away, maybe they'll think, wow, how lucky are we? What can I do to help others?
Yeah, how easy was that? I actually just watched a movie with my son. It was called The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. It's about, I cannot remember, the name or the country, but it was in Africa, and he developed in a drought, they were going to lose everything. He developed a windmill made out of just like things that were thrown in a scrapyard. And it pulled water out of the ground with like a pump that he found, and he harnessed the wind. But I was watching it with my son, and he's like, Mom, is that a well? He's like, what are they doing? They're pulling water out? And I was like, yes, that's what they have to do in these countries. And he's like, we don't have to do that. And I was like, no, because we have, pipes and water systems pulling it to our house so we can just turn on a faucet. That's a wonderful thing. We're very fortunate to be able to do that. But this is what other people have to do. So
The next generation realizing that is the ultimate result of something like this. That's really powerful stuff. I mean, so, there's going to be some stuff in advance that the kids can participate. You have the actual walk itself. You go a mile and a half, and then you fill up a bucket with water. You're bringing it back. You have some time to reflect on the water crisis that our planet's facing. So when you come back, what can folks expect when they come back, when they reach the finish line?
So when you reach the finish line, we'll have an area for you to put your water. That water is going to be recycled and reused to water plants in the Southwire City area. All of those plants right there, I just call it Southwire City. But afterwards, we are going to do some recognition. So team that raised the most funding, an individual that raised the most funding. Again, I want to do a bucket competition. I don't know if that'll actually land, but it's a little pipe dream of mine. And then we're also
dream.
Pipe dream. Man, drop in the bucket, pipe dream, all these water
You planned
references.
this.
I've been practicing. And then we'll also be doing some raffles just for some cool stuff to tell people thank you for being there, give them an opportunity to just win something cool. So
A lot to look forward to. Folks can, they can go ahead and follow Southwire's Project Gift on social media. Would they need to follow Project Gift or Southwire?
it'll be through Southwire, but
Okay.
Information about the walk itself is going to be on Southwire's social media pages. So
Cool. Okay, so you can go to you can check out the website, and you can go to Southwire's Project Gift. You can check out what they have going on for up to date details. Because as she mentioned, and for folks who've never put together a live event, things change. Sometimes things change for the better at the last minute. Sometimes things change for the worse. But this is one of those things that you've had time to work out the kinks, and this is going to be bigger and better than ever. Do not miss this opportunity to participate in the third annual Walk for Water. I want to make sure we mention this in each segment, registration. So after the program, we'll put a link in the either the comments or the description of this video so that you can go register. But tell folks again about the registration process and early bird registration.
yeah, so on the link that they're going to drop in the comments below, or you can sign up. The registration fee after March 15th is going to be $25, but until March 15th, you can use the code EARLYBIRD, one word, to get $5 off of your registration. At the walk, you're going to be able to enjoy all of the festivities that we have there. But also you get a t-shirt. Who doesn't love a t-shirt? So just make sure that you sign up by March 15th to just get a little bit of money knocked off that registration fee.
Fantastic. Time is 8:50. Perfect timing. We're going to go and take our second commercial break. But when we come back, we'll wrap up our conversation with Project Gift Coordinator for Southwire's Project Gift, Stefanie Anderson, as we talk more about the third annual Walk for Water, the 3-mile walk to honor those across the planet that do not have easy access to clean water. It's going to be happening April 6th at Southwire's headquarters. Help them reach their goal of $30,000 to help serve those in need. Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health System and Oak Mountain Academy.
Health is a journey. It's making better choices, even when it's not easy. It's taking care of yourself and the people you love. At Tanner Health System, we're there for you with every step, with primary care, heart care, cancer care, women's care, orthopedics, surgical services, and so much more. We're dedicated to helping you live and feel your best. So let's get on that journey to health. You've got places to be for many years to come. Find us at tanner.org.
Oak Mountain Academy is an innovative school of academic excellence celebrating over 61 years. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school, inviting you to join us on the mountain to see our mission and vision in action. Academic excellence, a faith-based environment, and dynamic opportunities are just a few of the reasons our families choose Oak Mountain Academy. Academic scholarships and tuition assistance are available. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us. Discover your journey at OMA. Prepare, explore, and achieve.
And welcome back to Community Voice. Time is 8:52. I'm your host, Josh Engel. We are live streaming on our WLBB Facebook page. So if you have any last-minute questions or comments for our guests, throw those in, and we'll ask those to her. Our guest is Stefanie Anderson. She's the Project Gift Coordinator for Southwire's Project Gift, and we have been talking about, you guessed it, because it's that time of year, the third annual Walk for Water event. It is a 3-mile walk to honor those across the world who do not have access to clean water. They have a goal of $30,000 to help that cause with their partnership with Water Mission. Sponsors. Let's talk about that, because this is in the last segment we kind of talked out some of the things that folks can expect at this year's event. Stuff for the kids in advance, giant bubble stations, you got the walk, and then of course there's going to be some activities afterwards. Mm-hmm. So an event like this is very expensive and complicated. There's a lot of moving parts. Are there any sponsors or anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to that helped step up and make this happen?
Yeah, for sure. So University of West Georgia is a huge partner of ours, and they're sponsoring Project Gift this year. And we also have 316 Healthcare, Phoenix and Heartwood Products, and then State Farm Jason Templeton, hashtag Jason, not Jake. So those are our sponsors so far for the year 2024. But if anyone out there is interested in partnering with Project Gift and all of the areas that we support, you can definitely reach out to project.gift@southwire.com just to see what those opportunities look like, or if you have any other questions. We're an open book and you can ask us anything.
Excellent. I mean, this is a great opportunity to for local businesses to jump in, and this can very much make this a team building exercise, or just a coworker, just an excursion. You get to come out, do the walk, have a moment to reflect on really how blessed we are, mm-hmm. and how much others across the world have to overcome. It's a great opportunity to do this. So we only have a handful of minutes left. We got about 6-ish minutes, 5-ish minutes. If we could, let's do one more time. Let's do a bit of a run through of just kind of the layout of the day, what folks can expect.
Okay, so registration is at 8:30. I know that's 8:30 on a Saturday. Some people want to sleep in until 9 o'clock. That's totally fine. The walk begins at 10 o'clock, so just try to make sure you're there before that. We will have T-shirts and places for you guys to change into your T-shirt so that you're representing Walk for Water in all of our photos. But the walk starts at 10 o'clock. We will begin the walk with empty buckets. We will walk 1.5 miles to a water source. You'll fill up your buckets, and then we will walk back to where we started. Again, just raising awareness and then really putting it in perspective of that round trip 3 miles that people have to walk every day to get clean drinking water. And so we're literally going to be walking 3 miles in their shoes to just see what it feels like. But
the average distance that someone has to walk
is 3 miles. So we'll have activities before the walk and after the walk, just some recognition of people that have raised a lot of money within a team or an individual that, really rallied a lot of support, and it'll hopefully be a beautiful day. And
it'll be great. And plus the new t-shirts. I don't know if we can talk about those at all, or if that's like hush hush, on the QT. I don't know if we can talk about that. Can you give us a bit of a tease of the t-shirts?
So they're always going to be a version of blue. That way, if you have the t-shirt from last year, you can still wear it and you're not going to stick out like a sore thumb. We'll just be a sea of blue. There's another pun for you. 3D pen.
Unbelievable.
But no, this year's shirt is definitely, it's going to be blue. It's going to be a little bit different. We will have a quote on there, and our sponsors and everything.
Well, people love those shirts because, especially folks that do walks and stuff like this, because in a way, it's
it
a
continues the conversation.
Exactly. People are like, "What's going on? Walk for water? What are you talking about?" Like, just go to the kitchen, and it's like a little bit more complicated than that. So it is kind of like a walking billboard, a walking conversation starter.
That's exactly it.
Let's talk about what's going down. So you definitely want to help make sure that you get a shirt. You want to register early. So let's talk about that. We're almost out of time, so let's talk about that one more time. The registration process, especially this pre-March 15th process.
Yeah, so before March 15th, you can register using the code EARLYBIRD, one word, EARLYBIRD, to get $5 off of your registration fee. All registration fees are donations to Water Mission and their cause. So all of the money that you contribute is going to be put to good use across the world to get people access to clean drinking water.
Great event, great opportunity to support a much needed cause. That's, as you mentioned earlier, this is your international partnership.
That's correct.
This is a worldwide situation, a worldwide epidemic. You can contribute a part in helping that by helping Southwire's Project Gift raise their goal of $30,000. Is that for this location specifically, or all the locations combined?
This location specifically.
We can do that.
Yeah.
We can do this. This community always steps out. Plus, who doesn't love water or walking? So let's make that happen here shortly after the program. We will get the link to the early registration in the comments so that you can hop on there and register and go ahead and get in line for your shirt and have a great day at this event. Stefanie, thank you again for taking the time to come on the program today and chat with us about the third annual Walk for Water coming up on April 6th at Southwire's headquarters. And thank you to Project Gift for all that you guys do. I know that you work very hard, and it never stops.
It doesn't, but it helps to have passion, to know that you're making a difference. So
absolutely. Any more water-related puns you want to throw in before we're gone? No,
but I do have something that I hope it's a heavy fact, but I hope it drives home, what the Walk for Water and what Water Mission's mission is. So one person dies every 37 seconds from a water-related illness, and we want you guys to come together. Every little bit helps. Come join us on April 6th for Walk for Water and help us change that.
We'll see you there.